New layers, the new layers panel. This is exactly what we're going to review. You guys already had the chance to review it by yourself. All right, so let's start. Fundamentals. What exactly are layers? What happens when you select a layer? That's, yeah, you know, that very, very simple. So Webydo layers are like sheets of stack acetate. Use layers to perform tasks such as naming, organizing, grouping, and even locking them. Especially now that we're going to provide our website a certain access for the CMS user. You want to be able to lock them. And it'll be very easy for you to manage all the other elements. Okay, and not only that, even you can lock them from yourself as well. We're gonna review that very soon. Now you can also apply a layer style to add a special function such as parallax or pin position. I just wrote down what an element is, so it could be a shape, an image, a gallery, a plugin, basically anything from the elements panel. It has its own layer. Okay, let's start. So you have three types of layers. You have the content layer that we're going to review right now. What is the content layer? I'm just going to go here and just show you. You see the line, the yellow line here? Whatever's above the yellow line, which is the body of the website, this is the content. Okay, whatever's above the content line is the content itself. It's the body of the website. Okay. All elements that are above the content line. Exactly. Next, what do we have? We have the footer tab. The footer tab is every element that is below the footer. This is all the elements of the footer. So they go there. They go automatically there. Okay. Now we have the last one, the top level tab. What exactly is the top level tab? Let me show you. The top level tab is whenever you apply the function of pinning an element or assigning a certain parallax, it goes automatically to the top layer, layer tab. I think it's here, if I'm not mistaken. Top level. Okay, we need to change that to layer. So yeah. So again, the layers panel in Webydo lists all the layers, layer types, layer groups, and even layer effect that we're going to review that very soon in any element that you assign. Okay, you can use the layers panel to show even hide layers. So of course, if you hide a layer, you hide the element, and even when you publish, okay, the element itself won't appear. Why? Because you hid it, okay, from your studio. You can create new layers and even work with group of layers. You can access additional commands and options in the layers panel menu, okay, without even just going through the element. You can do everything through the layers. Now, what happens exactly when you select a layer? Okay, so here, if let's say I'm selecting this, or if if I select an element, we automatically see that it selects the layer. Okay, this is the layer panel. There you go. If I select this is shape 55. But it goes the same way around. If I select shape 56, it's going to select my black shape, my black shape. And if I select the shape 55, it's going to select my yellow shape. So again, if you select a layer, you select the element and whatever effects you add to the layer affects the element itself. Okay, so pin, anchor, and parallax. We're gonna do this hopefully very quickly. So we're gonna review pinning layers, setting anchor links, and of course assigning parallax animations. So pinning layers, same thing. Let's do that. Let's say 5,000. Cool. All right. I'm selecting my yellow layer, my layer yellow shape. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pin it. Boom. Automatically, what happened is that it went to my top layer, and now it's pinned. And you can also see the icon in the layer that shows that it's pinned. So you know already. You don't need to check whatever element is repeated on all pages, has an anchor link. The icons show the layer what you assigned it to. Okay, what you assigned to. All right. So simple as that. You click on pin, or even when you assign parallax, it goes to the top layer. In addition to it, you'll see the icon. Okay. The steps are written here. Of course, at the end of the webinar, when we're going to publish the recording of the webinar, we're also going to send to all of our attendees our slides and the recording of the webinar, the link for the recording. Okay. Next, setting anchor links. So very simple. Setting anchor links, you set it through the layer. You type on the anchor icon, and it's going to show you exactly the same thing when you anchor an element. You type the anchor name, save it, and afterwards you're going to see that the element has the anchor icon. So let's do that. So first of all, let's unpin it. Cool. So I went back to the content, and now let's assign it an anchor. Shape 1. Cool. And you can see the anchor right here. Next, assigning parallax animation. So it's exactly like you see on the GIF. Nothing special about it. Same as, so now it has an anchor link. Let's remove the anchor link by clicking again. And what we're going to do, we're going to add a parallax animation. And boom, the layer has a parallax animation. So you animate it however you want. Okay, and that's it. And it has its parallax. It's a small star. And on top of that, it's on the top level layers. Okay. Renaming layers. Okay. Like Photoshop, you can actually rename layers. Here's how. You select the layer, you double click, you rename it. Next slide. Simple as that. So let's do that. Let's not exaggerate. Let's do everything live. Let's so shape 55. Let's call it yellow shape. Press enter and it's done. Let's do the same thing for my dark gray shape. So dark gray shape. Cool. All right. And ordering layers. So ordering layers is extremely easy. You drag the layer on top of the second layer, on top of whatever layer you want. You have have 10 layers, and from the 10 layers you want to move this one up. So you know what, let's just duplicate this many times. So as I duplicate, it actually adds, like in Photoshop, yellow shape copy 2, copy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I want this here. I'm going to put this gray shape here. I want this gray shape to go on top of the yellows or in between. So it's very easy. Okay. And while I'm changing, I'm reordering the layer, you're going to see that on when you view the studio, it does everything while you change. So boom, 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 boom. There you go. Okay. Now we also added on our design panel. This is something that I didn't put on my presentation slide. Is that on the arrange we added many. We added 2 more functionalities of pushing a certain element upwards or downwards. Okay, so here it says send backwards. When you click on send backwards, it sends it one layer below it. If you want to send it to the back, you click once, and you can see that my layer has been sent to the back. If you want to send it back to the front, boom, goes back to the front. And if you want to select 3 layers, you want it to be 3 layers down. So 1, 2, 3, dark gray shape. Okay. Grouping layers. So grouping layers. So let's say I want to group this whole thing. So I'm just going to select all of that. Or you know what? Instead of doing that, let me just yellow shape, press and hold the shift key. I selected all of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and select my group icon here on my layers panel, and boom, saved it as a group. And call it group, yellow group. And the yellow shape can be set to here. Okay. Okay, so here I explained, select the layer you want to group by holding the shift key, select the folder icon in the bottom left of the layer panel to group the selected elements. Locking layers. So, something that a lot of people are having trouble with is when they design their website, sometimes they touch a certain element that they don't want to touch, and it just has a certain effect, and it kind of, sorry for my language, it kind of screws up the site. Okay, so it messes up the site. So what you need to do is you need to lock it. To lock it, you select the layer, and you just go to the bottom left-hand side of your layers panel, and you click on lock element. Okay, when you lock the element, you're going to see the lock there. As you can see, I cannot touch the element until I select the layer and I unlock it. Simple as that. As you can see, I cannot do anything, neither on the design panel or anything else. If I take this out, I can move it around. Okay, this is a small GIF to show how we lock layers. Now, something I actually mentioned on this slide, what are lock layers? So I explained that in my fundamentals. Why do we use them? So we use them because, let's say we built a website for a client and we're giving a CMS access to the client so that if the client wants to make certain changes, then it's possible. Okay, that's easy. You just need to upload the content or even add content to it, and everything is being responsive at the same time. So certain elements, even sometimes if you're giving either a certain access of full design abilities to your CMS user, okay, you don't want your CMS user, your client, or I don't know, your marketing manager, if it's a landing page for a company, to be able to touch this specific element because it's not relevant to what the CMS user wants to do. Therefore, you lock elements. Now, additionally, you lock elements because sometimes you don't want to touch it because, like I said before, you don't want to mess up the site. It's very easy. Okay. And I would say it would be one of the most useful features in layers during our web design work. You can sometimes misplace a layer or just wish you can't even touch it. There you go, you have it. Okay. So yeah, next. So I showed you here how to lock layers, and of course I'm going to show you keyboard tricks. So layer equals element. Whatever element you have, it has its own layer. Simple as that. Duplicating a layer, Control or Command for Mac users, D. Okay, for D for duplicate, Command or Control D. Grouping, Command or Control G. Moving layer by 10 pixels every time. Okay, so you press and hold the Shift key and go up, down, left, right. Undo a certain change, Control or Command Z. Okay, exactly like in Photoshop, by the way. Copy a layer, Control Command C. Cut a layer, Control Command X, and paste a layer, Control Command P. You can copy, cut a layer, and paste it into a different page, not a different website, a different page of the same website. Okay, so I just wanted to mention the keyboard shortcuts because I know a lot of people have been asking that question. But yeah, please do ask questions. I'm really waiting for questions. Ask me things to do. Ask me basically anything. I know there was a question from Peter. If I repeat an element, by the way, I'm answering questions. Please do ask questions. So we have a question from Peter. If I repeat an element on all pages and rename the shape of the layers panel, does it go across all pages? The name change? That's an excellent question. I think so. Yes, let's do it. Yellow shape. Okay, so instead of yellow shape, repeat on all pages, boom. So my yellow page is at the top. Not on the top level, it's at the top. You can also replace it or put it anywhere you want. Now, if we open About Us, yellow shape is here. Oh, sorry. Let's yellow shape copy to. So let's change that to just yellow shape test. And I go back to About Us, yellow shape test. Let's open gallery, yellow shape test. If I want to do yellow shape test or yellow shape Peter and go back to the home page, yellow shape Peter. Next question. Can you drag a top level pin layer, for example, into the lower content level so you could have it appear below a non-pinned layer, like an image or a shape box, for example? No. The two types of parallax and pinned elements have a certain priority when we build a website. Okay, it's something that has to be at the top level of your website. It takes a certain importance more than the rest of the elements. So no, I don't think so. No. I mean, let's even try. First of all, let's take this off. I hate repeating all pages. And just put a pin position. See, you cannot move it. Okay, because it's let's say your website is a layer, and when you put, for example, a pin position or a parallax, so automatically there's a top layer that appears, and then there's your website. Okay, which, by the way, you can repeat on all pages through the layers panel. Okay, so we have a question from Alex. What defines an element to be part of the top level or to be part of the content? Okay, good question. So the only type of layer that is part of the top level, okay, is any element, any layer that has the two functionalities, pin positions and parallax effects. That's it. Other than that, everything is either on the content or on the footer. Simple as that. Okay. We have a different question from Alex. Does renaming a layer affect the div ID, or you're adding code to manipulate an element? No. So the layers panel only affects the studio itself. Okay. This is specifically for you to be able to manage your elements, manage your layers. When you publish the code, okay, the code itself does not does not take or save the layer change, the layer naming. Okay, it doesn't name the div ID. It just names the layer itself on the studio. Question from Peter. I came across the situation. The layer is being prevented from moving above another in one of my pages, and it's not locked. What the reason, or am I doing something wrong? Okay, so first of all, try and see if you lock the layer, if the layer is parallaxed, or maybe try refreshing, because maybe you don't see the top level and content and footer tabs. It's very, very possible. Look, it's a better feature of the layers, which, by the way, even though it's a very new feature and we're kind of expecting a few bugs, okay, it's doing its job. It's doing even more than what we're expecting. Try and see what functions does it have. I mean, is it pinned? Is it, except for, I mean, there shouldn't be a reason. Try refreshing, or maybe try contacting reaching out to your success manager, and I'm sure we'll assist you with it. Also, something that I haven't mentioned yet, you can also hide a layer. When you hide a layer and you publish it, it doesn't even show the layer itself. See? And you can bring it back. Okay. Question from David. Do CMS users have the same layer controls, or this is just the DMS unless you lock it? You can decide exactly what type of control you can give to your CMS users. I think for now, like, we just launched it 2 days ago. I think for now, if you give full design capabilities, then yes, I'm not sure. I think the CMS user will be able to to have control of the layers, unless to have good control of the layers, even if you put a lock into it. However, I think we're going to make that update and send an email to all of our clients, and to say now you can lock layers, you can do basically whatever you want, and you can decide exactly what type of permissions you can give to your CMS user. Okay, question from Ricardo. Can I grab a layer from another project and copy the layer to another project? No, I just said it. You can copy a layer or cut a layer and paste it to a different page, but not a website, not a project, only on the same website project. Would be great. It would be a great thing to have. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Okay, so remember, every new feature that will release, we're gonna have a webinar about it. Guys, it was a pleasure. It was very fast, but it was still a pleasure having you guys here on my webinar. I hope to see you very soon. The next webinar will be I think in 2 weeks, and it's going to be about SSL. I'm just letting you guys know SSL is today the most important thing that you need to add to your website. Why? Because it needs to be, right now Google is dismissing a lot of websites that don't have SSL for SEO purposes. So guys, if you have clients that do have websites, and just tell them in advance if they want to be well referenced on Google, SSL is the first step. All right. So again, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.